Welcome to another episode of Where'd It Come From? This time, we're going to talk about headphones. First step in all of this is, start off with, you have the amplifier, and you need to have some way to do more than just amplify. You need to have some way to communicate with it, to send signals back and forth, to things not be as dangerous, to not shock you, things like that. And then the invention of the transistor was born, and that really wasn't all that different, but it allowed for a little bit more in and out sort of thing. Now, the next step is when it starts to get a little bit more defined as an actual headset. This, however, just allows for the technology to be there. Now, around the same time, Alexander Graham Bell, of course, came out with the telephone. When Bell created the telephone, he, of course, needed something that would be able to transmit noise in, and he needed to be able to talk into it. Well, not actually part of your head, like most headsets of today. That was the first original headset, was built in, and it was really more of a funnel through which you could speak, and, the words would be able to get transmitted across wires, things like that. But ultimately, he was the father of it all because, of course, he created the telephone, which, of course, later created the industry that required operators, which required the mass production of headphones. So they had to be mass-produced in a way in which it was the most conducive, and, the technology became much easier to deal with when you started mass-producing it and going in and out, and of course the electrical current had to be good enough that the women who answered the phone wouldn't get shocked, and that was really where headsets began, but of course you had to talk into them or else there was no point. They were big, bulky things. It wasn't until much later that they became smaller. Eventually, all these things came about, and people were like, well, we need to listen to things in the library. We need to be able to hear different speeches, things like that. So what was developed is they just took the actual, speaker off of the headset, and it just became headphones. Now, there's many people who have said that they're credited with doing this. They claim to do these things on their websites, and they were the first. Much like, the first pizza maker of, say, Chicago or something like that. And no one is completely positive on who first started it, but the idea wasn't all that complicated, to be honest. You just take the headset off and you have the headphones. You just take out more circuits. You really have less to deal with that way. These were created, and there's several different kinds. You have the open headphones, where you hear noise coming in, and it sounds much more like a speaker, as opposed to the closed ones, like I'm wearing right now, which block out sound and block sound going out and coming in, things like that. So it's much more private, much less, it doesn't intrude on people's business, you can listen to things in the library and nobody hears you. The earbuds were created because people didn't want to jog around with these because they're big and they fall off, so they had inner ear earbuds, which do the exact same thing. However, those seem to break faster. I'm not sure why, but I've had these forever, and I've had so many pairs of little ones, they break so easy, but usually they're cheaper and they're mass-produced now. They come with an iPhone, they come with an iPod, they come with little MP3 players. You can get them for free pretty much anywhere you want if you just do something, spend a little bit of money. Like, you can buy them for about $5 at Target. And really, what ended up happening was, people were pretty satisfied with that. And of course, they got smaller, they got bigger, depending on the style or the things like that. But ultimately, what ended up happening is people got really tired of these wires. So a business in 1998 created Bluetooth. They were called Bluetooth, and they just named the technology after themselves. So they were Bluetooth, and they allowed wireless headsets, headphones, things like that, so you could just press a button and you could talk. And that's really become the future of headsets. From these big, bulky things made out of metal into these little tiny things made out of plastic that you just pull out of your pocket, and it seems like you're crazy and you're talking to yourself. But the technology all really started from, Alexander Graham Bell and the invention of the transistor, things like that. Now, some are going to ask, what's the future of headphones? They're already so tiny, and they already do so much as opposed to where we used to be even 100 years ago, with headsets. And the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of companies looking into it, and there's lots of different high-end things that are coming available right now. There's some that adjust to your ear to know what's going to hurt your ear personally and what, hurt someone else's ear, so it adjusts, depending on the music and how loud it is, to your ear, so it gets quieter, so it won't damage your ears. There's also another one that it gives you, like, the actual headphone has tiny different speakers all around it, and it gives you the sense of space, and it's like surround sound, so you could watch a movie and it sounds like you're in a room or it's all around you. Really crazy stuff. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just kind of a random one, I know, sort of off the wall where headphones come from, but I was just kind of curious. So I looked it up. If you guys have any suggestions, I would love to hear them, and I would love to do them. So please subscribe. I love you forever. Keep listening to music, because it's awesome. Get a big pair of headphones, get little ones, compare them. I mean, I personally like bigger ones, because they don't hurt my ears after a while. But little ones are great if you're exercising, things like that. Anyway, so I'm going to leave you with a last thought. Comment down below. Tell me if you like big ones, headphones, or small headphones. So, I'm going to leave you that. Goodbye.